All right, let's jump right into this. On your anvils in front of you is a cloth. Go ahead and lift that up. That is a massive chunk of steel. More than enough steel to make a knife. Here's the catch. Today, you won't be making knives. Your first round challenge is to forge a hatchet with an integral handle in your signature style.
Wow, that sucks.
Your 3-hour forge time starts now. Here we go.
All right.
This is easily 3 times larger than any piece of stock steel we've ever given our bladesmiths. There's a lot of metal to manipulate in this challenge.
They actually probably have enough to do normal size one and then a miniature one.
I think competing with a mastersmith is something I did not expect. I am honored, thrilled, and terrified that it's going to be my doom.
Ray actually looks kind of bored.
I'm not focusing the way I need to be. I'm feeling drained.
Uh-oh.
That'll happen. Hope he's doing all right.
I'm having trouble breathing.
So Adlai, stepping out of the forge, this is definitely a concern. Time does not stop.
I'm finally getting this thing drawn out to an edge.
I think that the design that I made will look pretty stupid if I don't accentuate the fact that the kind of hatchet I'm making has a cleaver twist to it.
Jason, he has actually used a drift to put a hole through his axe head in the same way that you would see like a cartoon cleaver.
Here's the discussion. Is that a hatchet?
If you need to pull out, let's pull out, okay?
Let's do it. I want to finish this. He's driving out the bottom
All right.
section. All right. He's back.
I don't want to go back to a desk job. I want to prove to myself that this is what I'm meant to do.
Over 20 minutes, Adlai had to step off the forge floor. That's what it took for him to recover.
The best I could do is to go back in with the time I've got left and just keep going. There's no quit.
You've got Ray, who has 30 years of blade-making experience. 2 anvils away, you have Steven, who has 3 years.
I'm 19, I've only had 3 years, but I'm showing them that I can get it done. I'm moving along quite nicely. I got what I want, the basic shape I want. I'm about to go grinding soon.
Bladesmiths, you have just 60 minutes remaining to finish your hatchets. Ray just quenched his hatchet. Ray, so far in front of everybody else, they can't even look at him anymore.
If you look up hatchet in the dictionary, there's Ray holding his up.
I'm leaving a little character on this hatchet because it is a woodsman's axe. Most of those axes weren't real shiny, you know, like you see an axe today. I'm 69 years old, and I don't think there's anything wrong with things looking a little bit older than what they are. I'm pretty much done in mine.
Adlai working feverishly to catch up to his competitors.
I'm not really focused on what anybody else is doing. I'm kind of keeping my eyes on my own plate.
He's gonna put a twist in the handle. How cool is that?
This should be really interesting. 10 minutes, Bladesmiths! Woo!
Hell yeah, let's do it.
But I just gotta drill my holes in heat treat now.
I absolutely do not like the angle of his handle. That's gonna be bad for him. A handle can be so awkward that we cannot test it.
Yes.
You don't have leverage. A hatchet is a tool made to divide material. But if you put that kind of handle on there, it's not gonna do that.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shut down your machine and drop your tools. Your forging period has ended. All right, judges, let's go ahead and start with Steven's blade on the end, please, Doug.
Well, Steve was trying to go with two particular ideas over here. The head of a hatchet in line with the curvature of a kukri. But when you put them together with the length, it doesn't work. It's very hard to index properly. You could actually even miss your target.
All right, let's move on to Jason's blade.
Just hope they like the cleaver idea.
Ah, the giant cleaver hatchet. When he wound up with this theme of a cleaver for his hatchet, you know, the idea of drifting a hole in there, I kind of appreciate that.
But Dave, is it a cleaver or is it a hatchet?
It's a hatchet, but it's got a cleaver theme to it.
Okay.
I think he did a nice job. Again, different design, but a nice job.
All right, let's move on to Ray's blade.
I looked over at yours. I'm like, did he melt that down and cast it? What the hell?
That's 30 years of experience.
The shape is classic hatchet. He's exactly at 4 inches, but I would like to see this area have been a little smoother. I don't mind forged texture. I just kind of like more even forged texture.
Haladie's blade.
By mistake, Haladie created an Egyptian axe here, but the reason they work is it's counterbalanced by a large handle, large shaft. This doesn't have that, so I mean, holding it out at arm's length, it just turns in your hand. There's so much weight in this tip, so that is a real problem. But if he put a large handle on it and then chopped that much of it off, it would become functional at that point. I don't know if he'd have enough time to do it well.
All right, gentlemen, you have to make a decision about who's leaving the forge today. Doug, have you made yours?
Yes, I have.
Dave?
Yeah.
Jason?
Yeah, man.
Let's go tell our smiths. Welcome back, Bladesmiths. The judges have made their final decision. It's time for one of you to leave the forge. The bladesmith leaving the forge is Haladie. Your hatchet did not make the cut. Dave will explain.
Haladie, I appreciate the design that you came up with, but somewhere along the way, you lost control of that design. The construction of your blade put all that weight so far forward in the head that it's just unwieldy, and that's why we're letting you go.
Please surrender your weapon.
I'm disappointed. I may not be a Forged in Fire champion, but I am still a winner. I feel like I have accomplished what I came here to do. I didn't win, but I've proven to myself that I can do this no matter what setbacks might come.
Congratulations, gentlemen. You've both made it to the final round, which means you're both one step closer to the title of Forged in Fire champion and that check for 10 grand. When you came to our forge, you used our tools and equipment. Now we're sending you back to your home forge to forge an iconic blade from history. Are you ready to see what that weapon is?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Ready.
The Haladie.
Ooh.
The Haladie was a fearsome double-bladed dagger created in ancient India. The two recurved blades would meet at a straight handle and could be used for slashing or stabbing. Some Haladies even featured a third blade running out of the handguard. Though the Haladie might seem like something out of a fantasy video game, it actually dates back to the mid-5th century and was wielded by the Rajput, a major Hindu clan known for their bravery and ferocity in battle.
Your final challenge is to forge a Haladie. It must be an effective working version of that weapon. You will have 5 days at your home forge to accomplish this. Additionally, each blade must have a counter recurve and a centered unguarded handle. At the end of 5 days, you will return and present your Haladies to our panel of expert judges. Good luck, Bladesmiths. We'll see you in 5 days.
Good luck, Steve.
Feeling amazing. I made it to the finals, and I get to make a really awesome weapon. A Haladie, or a Haladie, or something like that. Ray has more experience than me, and I kind of feel like it's old school versus new school. Got my blade the length I want to. Now I'm moving on to the handle. Every time I hit it on one side, the other side bends a little bit, so it's a challenge to keep everything in line. Oh, yeah. It's the end of day one, and I feel like I'm a step ahead of the game. I only expected to get forging done today, but I got a little grinding in there, too.
The
Plan for today is to get the Damascus ready and hopefully get a couple welds in on it. We're gonna cut up a bunch of steel here. I use a 15-piece billet. I've never made a Haladie, and I've never made a double-ended knife either. To me, it's a challenge. Challenge is good. Even though I've got like 37 years experience, it's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna go for like 120 layers. It'll give me a bold pattern. I think it'll look really nice.
It's day 2. I've got pretty much all the grinding done. Today, I want to get to the heat treating. That's the make it or break it part of the knife. This is my first time having this much riding on the quench. I hope nothing goes wrong, because if it does, I'll have to restart, and that would really suck. Survived. Feeling good. Now I just gotta do the same thing to the other side.
We're ready to start day 3. I wish I was a little farther ahead, but everything is ×2. So whatever I do to one blade, it has to be exactly like the other blade. And that can be a challenge in itself. So I put the first blade in a jig, and I can't get it to bend. So I decided I'm gonna do it the old school way and go back to the anvil. So it's just gonna be a guess. Whenever you're dealing with Damascus, it's a risky business. It doesn't always turn out right. Nobody makes perfect Damascus every time they make it. It's about a wicked-looking weapon, I'll tell you what.
It's day 4, and pretty much all I got left to do is glue on the handle, polish that up. Ray is probably doing Damascus with his blade, so I'm trying to be on the same level. I'm gonna hand sand, I'm gonna add file work on both sides of the handle, doing like the really fine detail stuff. I'm going for like a vine pattern on the file work just to give it an elegant design, a little something extra. I'm kind of just gonna free ball it on this one. It's just about ready to glue. As soon as I start mixing the epoxy, time starts going down. I only got 5 minutes to get everything where I want it to be because of the epoxy. What the hell? This is the first bump in the road I run into, and I feel a time crunch. Okay. I finally get it together. The glue's all set up, and looks like there's no gaps. I finished the weapon a day early. There was always that thought in the back of my head where I'm going against the best, but age definitely doesn't limit your skill. I'm very proud of this weapon.
Last day, it's crunch time. Time to finish it up. Heat treat went really well yesterday, and the blades look good. First thing I'm gonna do today is sharpen the blades up before I assemble them onto the handle. I think my skill set as a master smith really shows up. I came here to prove that I could compete at a really high level, and I think that I did that. The only thing that would stop it is if my competitor built something better than I did. Well, he gets ready to go.
Stephen, Ray, welcome back to the forge. You've had 5 days at your home forges to work on your Haladies. Now it's time to see how they hold up in our weapons test, but first, Ray, tell us a little bit about your weapon.
Well, I made my Haladie as close as I could to the original type of weapon, and I made the blades out of Damascus, and I think it'll do well.
Great. Stephen, tell us about yours.
I forged mine out of 1095 high carbon steel and put my own kind of twist on it from what stuff I saw on the internet.
All right, gentlemen. Your weapons will now be put through a series of 3 tests. Up first is the sharpness test. Doug?
Bladesmiths, the Haladie was a weapon used by the Rajput warriors. It was designed to have a blade on both sides of the handle, and they were known to be very sharp. To see how sharp your weapons are, I will take your blade and deliver multiple cuts and stabs to this canvas bag. Ray, you're up first. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this.
I'm really proud of this knife. I mean, it turned out really well. The curvature on the blade is a recurve, so what happens is the blade starts in one direction, then comes back in the other direction, which gives it a lot of character.
Okay, Ray. I like the design of your blade. It feels good in the hand. You got that ovoid shape for the handle, And I like also how it flares over there so it stops for the thrust. I love your recurve and Damascus pattern that you have on both ends of your blade. It's very dramatic and it looks good. The belly of your blade slashed nicely on the canvas and it allowed for a good thrust. And this blade will cut. Good job.
Thank you.
Steven, you're up next. You ready?
Hell yeah.
Let's do this.
Going up against a master bladesmith with 30 years experience is definitely a little nerve-wracking for me, but I'm pretty sure I got everything executed perfectly on it.
Well, Steven, we have a big problem here.
What's the problem?
We specifically asked for a recurve on each blade. These blades are not recurved. They're simply curved. We put that specifically on our parameters so that both blades are equal and fair in all the tests that we do. Your blade does not have that S-shaped recurve that we're looking for. Because you don't have that S-shaped recurve that we needed for the parameters, we cannot move on to test your blade.
Well, Steven, the devil's in the details. The blade parameters were very specific. We asked for counter recurve blades on your Haladie. You didn't deliver that. And therefore, since your weapon cannot be tested fairly and evenly, I must ask you to please leave the forge.
I'm feeling a little bummed I put in all that hard work and I didn't even get to test it. I still feel really proud of my work. It's just I failed to see the one small detail, and that led me to losing. I learned I gotta follow the instructions a little better.
Ray, congratulations. You are the Forge and Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job.
Thank you.
It's a good-looking weapon, sir.
Thank you.
I love your Damascus pattern. Really, really nice recurve with beautiful shape.
How do you feel right now?
Feeling really good. Being Forge and Fire champion, it's really nice, especially at my age. I felt a lot better about it if they could have did the cutting contest and everything with his blade also. But I just sold a knife for $10,000 bucks. That's the best part.